Just Christian. Okay. Okay, we have Coach Floyd here with Christian Polk. Coach, can you start us off with some general comments about the game?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Memphis. They played exceedingly well in the second half. Those young kids are really special talents, and Black was a big factor in the game. You know, his post-ups really forced us to decide who we were helping from, where we were helping. And, you know, he also had an impact with getting McCulley with the fourth foul a little earlier than we'd like to see him pick up the fourth foul. Crawford, you know, played a terrific game. It was an absolutely terrific game. The kid had not shot it that well from the three-point line all year long, but he did today. Knocked down some big shots. We got a 12-point lead there with about 6.5 minutes to go, and we literally went a 3-minute stretch where we turned it over, and they led to literally 3 straight threes, I believe, that cut it to 62-59. Memphis is at their best off of picks and steals and the open floor transition. They're on at their best when they get it off the defensive board, long boards, and they're in situations where they can go run, go get it up and down the floor. They took advantage of our breakdowns there from about the 6-minute mark to about the 4-minute mark. Thought we could regroup and go get it done. We missed a free throw or two down the stretch, missed a layup down the stretch, you know, inefficiency offensively. And they did a great job. We made a switch there late with Julian on the little guy, Black. He's been our best perimeter defender, most consistent in terms of guarding 1 through 5, figuring that they were going to go drive it. And he got the ball to the rim. There was a foul. I didn't see it. I didn't see the play, but I'm sure there was. It was a well-officiated game. We were disappointed for our city, disappointed for our seniors, and all these kids have been absolutely terrific. And we're hopeful we'll still be playing.
Okay, if you got a question, let Anna get a wireless microphone to you. You have a question? Up here on the front row, please.
Coach, did you ever consider calling time on your second last possession when you got the win off the missed free throw?
You're talking about with 7.8 to go, or with 37? 37. We had subbed Claude in, and we were going to play through Claude on the post as a feeder or as a deep catch guy, you know, in that possession. They did a great job of denying. We are a well-seasoned team. We can make our calls. We knew that in a close game we may need them both down the stretch, okay? But no, did not consider that one at all, just because we knew that we had the proper play run. They did a great job of denying Randy Culpepper to keep the first catch out of the play in that action. But anyhow, no, did not consider calling one with 7.8 because they had shown for about 10 minutes in the second half a 2-2-1 containment press, not a 1-2-1-1 press, but a 2-2-1 containment press that generally takes about 8 seconds to get it across the 10-second line. We had 7.2 on the board. I felt like our best option was to get it out, get it in Randy's hands, accelerate, get up and go play in the open floors, things that we have worked on and talked on throughout the season.
Christian, could you take us through a little bit of that the last possession for you? Did you get a good look at the bucket?
Yeah, I got a good look. Coach called the play. We ran it. Julian found me. I thought he got my arm a little bit, but the refs did a good job the whole game. I tried to tell them throughout the whole game that they were hitting my arm on the jump shot, but I think they missed it. But can't blame the refs. We had turnovers down the stretch, and the game was in our hands, but I think they missed the last call.
Got one here on the front row.
Coach, you mentioned yesterday how this offense isn't getting enough respect. What needs to happen for you to start noticing maybe the evolution team that they're different?
Could you repeat the last part of that after the respect part?
What needs to happen for this conference to get more respect and actually get several teams in?
You know, I'm not sure. I think our conference did a great job at the blueprint that we had this year. Blueprint was having above a 70% winning percentage in non-conference games, schedule good teams, and beat good teams. And I saw a lot of that. I saw a lot of that. From Central Florida, our ninth place team beating the SEC champs in Florida, beating Miami, beating South Florida, another Big East team who just beat Villanova, you know, in the first round of their tournament. UMass, they had a great run. You know, our sixth place team, you know, scheduling West Virginia, beating them on a neutral floor. You know, us, you know, with the win against Michigan, who they consider to be a lock, who finished lower than us in our league, but, you know, they give credit to whatever the league is. I don't know what the bottom of that league's like, and I do know what the bottom of this league's like. You know, Rice played a three-pointer over at Texas. You know, we've got a lot of great wins in this league, and I couldn't really tell you. I know we're one of two leagues, or there's two other leagues that have 8 teams in the top 100 in the RPI. So it means every time you're going out, you're playing a good club, and I really don't know what else you can do.
Hey, Coach, what's the most likely scenario now for the Miners?
Well, I don't know. I'll keep my fingers crossed, you know. Pray for some sanity in the room, you know. UAB's a great team. Memphis, great team. We're a great team. You know, the eye test, whatever the hell the eye test is, I think we pass it. They say you win games in the NCAA tournament with guards. I think we've done that. I think you got to show you win on the road. I think we've done that. I think we've beaten quality teams. You win 25 games. I guess you're supposed to win 30 or maybe go 30-1, and they might give you an at-large. I don't know. But you're playing teams with this kind of RPI, home and road. I think 25 is a pretty darn good number.
Coach, back to the game. Under a minute, got the ball, 1 point lead. You obviously wanted to milk some clock. I think you milked maybe a little too much. You didn't get yourself.
Under a minute. Where now? Under a minute, 1 point lead. What possession is he talking about, Christian?
When we tried to go Warrior, and they're denying Randy.
Well, we had 32 seconds on the clock, right?
When you shot, yeah.
When we shot it. Who shot it?
You went down deep in the clock. You went down deep in the shot clock to get your shot.
Yeah, and who took it? Was that the one Stone missed at the basket?
Yeah.
It was a layup.
Right.
No, I don't think we went too deep. We missed a layup.
Here on the front row.
Christian, you returned back to the championship with a different coach. So what does that say about this team and about Coach Floyd?
Says we have good players and a great coach. We have a good group of guys. We've, like Coach said, I think we passed the eye test, whatever that is. We've proven that we can play with anybody in the country, and it just shows that we have a really good team and a really good conference and a really good coach.
Okay, anything else for Coach Floyd and Christian?
All right,
Thank you
congratulations
very much.
to Memphis.
Good luck here next week. Okay, Coach Pastner is here with Joe Jackson and Tarik Black.
Oh my.
Coach, when you're comfortable, please start us off with some general comments about the game.
First of all, it was a terrific basketball game. Coach Floyd and his team is really good. They're very well coached. So to beat a team like that with the type of talent they have and as well coached as they are in their home arena, that is hard to do. Hard to do. And that's a credit to these young men. The student athletes, these young men made plays. It's a player's game. The players made plays. Our assistant coaches were terrific in the preparation. So that's where the credit goes. There's no question in my mind this is a multiple bid league. I mean, El Paso, UTEP is really good. I mean, they can compete, and they talk about all the Power 6 conferences. How about all these other? I mean, they're as good as anybody. They went in and beat Michigan. How about Southern Miss goes in and beats Cal? How about UAB? I mean, UAB is really good. This should be 4 teams in the league. You could even make a stretch for 5. But El Paso's good, UAB's good. I mean, this is a great league. But to beat a team like this, as well coached as they are in El Paso, it's a great win for Memphis. It's a great win for that name across the front of the jersey. Bottom line.
Okay, if you have a question, please wait for a wireless mic. I think we've got one in the back here.
Coach, was this game pretty much, you've done this so many times this season, it seems like you've been in this spot before, and 9 times out of 10, the results always seem to be the same.
Yeah, one thing about us early in the year, we had a lot of close games, and against teams that maybe people didn't think we were supposed to win by 30, and they were good teams, but we were a young team because we're the 7th youngest team in the country, and I just felt that those games that we won early in the year in overtime and close games were going to be good for us later on, because I knew when we were going to get to conference there was going to be close games. And we have found a way to win. I think we're like 16-2 in single-digit games and 13-3 in like 4 or less or 5 or less points. And that's a credit to the players, because the players make games. Players make plays. Here's the thing. We haven't shot the ball great this year until this tournament, but how many times have we stepped up and made shots late in games or got a defensive stop? You know, that's the bottom line. So early on, those games have paid dividends for us at this point of the year.
Back here.
This is for all 3 of you. If you could comment, you came here to El Paso in the regular season, got blown out. What was the difference between then and now? Guys?
The first time we came down, there was a nervousness, them being one of the great teams in our league, a senior team. But this time, we already knew their game plan. We knew how they were going to come out and play us, so we played them better this time around. And really, it was all about listening to the coach as well. The first time we came down, we were on the high, because we just came off a win, and we were like, well, yeah, we can beat anybody. But this time we came down, and we were like, well, yeah, we got to listen to Coach more, because he knows what he's talking about. If we listened to him last time, we would have won last time.
Joe?
There's really not a difference. We had a chance to win last game, but we just didn't make shots. I give a lot of credit to Chris Crawford today, because I told him at halftime, for us to win, you got to make at least 3 or 4 threes, because he hasn't been shooting the ball well. So what Chris do? He came out, made 5 for 6, and that's a big part of us winning today, because he opened up the court for everything. He opened up the drive, the paint for Black, where he can get touches, and they ain't know how to guard us after a while.
And I'd like to make a comment on both these young men to my right. I mean, everybody played well. Everybody played well. But here's a couple things. Tarik Black, who's been terrific all year for us, and you can just see his improvement. Had a double-double and was big for us in key times, and defensively was big for us, and he got big traffic rebounds. And Joe, I know everyone's going to talk about his offense, but let me tell you something on Joe Jackson. Coming in at the beginning of the year, one of the big knocks on Joe was he doesn't guard. He doesn't play defense. You know what? This tournament, we put him on the other team's best players every game, and he did an amazing job. He did an unbelievable job defensively. And the reason we won, we hit shots, but the reason we won this tournament was because of defense. And that's been our calling card all year long, is we've got to get stops. We work every day on a drill getting 3 stops in a row. You can't get out of the drill until you get 3 stops. That means a perfect defensive stop plus the rebound. And every time out we're talking about that. It's 3 stops now, guys. This is like practice. We got to get stops, 3 stops in a row. and that's the bottom line. I want to give a shout-out to Chris Willard there and my man Britton, the league commissioner. We love Conference USA. I said it earlier, Chris, this is a multiple-bid league. I also want to say that El Paso, the UTEP, they did a great job here with the hospitality. I thought everything was first class. I love the ability to be able to go back and forth to see our women's team. It was a great setup, and so which is a credit to the people here and obviously to Chris and Britton, our league commissioner. But back to the game, these young men deserved it. They have so much heart. They are wonderful young men. I mean, we got good guys. We got good guys. That's the whole thing. We've got good people, and character wins, and we have high character guys. And I just believe good people want to be around good people, and character wins. And in the end, even when there's some negativity or you weather some storms and there's some rocky waves and there's some peaks and valleys, it just shows you that when the type of young men that we have, the character's going to prevail in the end. I just believe that, and we've stuck to that, and that's why we're fortunate to be champions right now. And I do not have to call anybody. The only person I haven't called in the last 48 hours is President Obama. Otherwise, I've called everybody to get us in. But you know what? We now don't have to worry about it. I can enjoy the plane ride home and enjoy Sunday with these young men. You know what? Will Coleman, a senior, gets to experience an NCAA tournament. All these guys get to experience an NCAA tournament. We're going in there to win the games. We're going in there to win. But the experience, that's something that can never be taken away. I'm so proud of these young men to have that opportunity. And again, I've said it before, it's a multiple bid league. UTEP's as good as anybody. UAB's as good as anybody. Southern Miss is, I can go on and on. This league is good. It is a multiple bid league without question.
Yeah, just piggybacking off what you said, just how satisfying is it to see this team grow up the way it has. And I guess this week, when the players that we've come together at the right time.
I felt, Jason, that we've peaked. We're starting to peak at the right time. And I felt even going into the Tulane game, I thought East Carolina, we lost, but we played well. They hit some great shots. And then going to the Tulane game, people were, again, complaining, hey, you were down 7, you barely won. You know what? We had 20 assists on 26 made field goals. We had some big shots. And I just felt we were starting to shoot the ball well. We had a great banquet on Sunday as a team. And then we just started shooting the ball well. And one of the great things at our banquet, I had Joe Jackson and Will Barton roommates on the road. And we have curfews. And so we have curfews at usually at 10 o'clock, no later than 11 on the road. And I found out that they were all on the curfews, but that when they go to their room, like Will Bart likes to, he's a night owl. He likes to stay up and just watch TV. He'll stay up and Joe can't fall asleep. He says, Coach, so he went up in the banquet in front of the team and said, I'm getting Will some sleeping pills so he can sleep, so I can go to sleep. So this trip, we changed roommates. I said, Joe, you need to get your rest. I switched roommates. So the banquet might have given us an MVP for that, you know. I mean, because without Joe getting up there to telling us that, I might not have known that. We just started, we shot the ball well. That's the whole thing is we started shooting the ball well, but we've hung our hats on defense. And I can't give enough credit to these guys, the two guys to my right. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of everyone in the locker room. And there we go.
Got a question on the front row here, Coach.
Speaking of Will Barton, you felt like, was there any fear that it might ruin the momentum when there was a situation where he and Randy kind of got into it? You had to run out there on the court, make sure everything was okay. What went through your head? Can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
I thought the officials were terrific. They had great control of the game. And I know you can say, well, you won the game. Of course you're going to say that. One thing about me is that I'm an honest man. I'll tell it like it is, even though I'm going to side on the positive side. But they called a great game. They had great control. Those guys are veteran guys. It was a great called game. And the officials let the players decide the game, and that's how it should be. And the players made plays. I mean, we made plays, and we got to stop at the end, bottom line. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I was. That's why I ran out there. You know, like I ran out there like I was on a 40-yard dash for the NFL Combines. I was trying to get our guys back into the huddle, but I saw both guys talking to each other, and they got the the refs gave him a double tech.
For Joe, was there ever a time that you wondered whether this season could end like this? I mean, 2 weeks ago, Aaron Niles was tweeting, "You picked the wrong school," kind of thing. I mean, it got to be pretty tough. Was there ever a time you lost faith in that it could end like this? And how does it feel now to be sitting up there with a piece of the net in your pocket?
Well, I thought about it. You know, that's how I thought the season was going to begin. But I didn't take off like I thought I would. So I just kept working, and I kept looking deep inside myself and asking myself, am I good enough? Do I need to work harder? So I just stayed in the gym and just kept working on my game and trying to get better in every area. Coach been on me from day one, all the coaches. It's been hard for me, but, I think I earned it, tell you the truth, because I've really been working hard, and people won't even believe what I've been going through, but, I just been sticking with it,
And let me tell you this, and Tarik knows this, we've been hard on Joe. I've been hard on Joe. Am I right, Tarik? I mean, I've been hard on all the guys. I was really hard on Tarik early in the year, and he got through it. And I've been hard on Joe from the beginning when we were practicing ready for the Bahamas. I mean, I was in him hard. Am I right, Joe? I mean, hard. But I felt that he needed that. That's what he needed. That push, because he's got the abilities to do special things, and it's all of our guys. All of our guys. That's why I want to stay hard on Tarik, stay hard on Will, but not give in. And again, not in a because I don't curse, not in a yelling, screaming way, just that demanding excellence at all times. And so with that, these guys, it's paid off, because in the big picture, that's where it comes down to, what you're playing for a game like this. And I keep going back to, we found ways to win games in close games. That's the bottom line.
Joe, you talk about improving on defense this year, the challenge you had to take in the starting program.
Well, in high school, I had to take the load with scoring and almost everything on offense. So, and then I played defense my 9th and 10th, but 11th and 12th, it was just a Joe show. I was trying to score every time, and I was not getting back on defense. I was just trying to get dunks. But, college is a different game. You got to play defense. You got to do everything fundamentally sound, to win games. And it's been a hard adjustment, but I've been willing to do it and take it on a challenge every day.
Josh, to go back to what you were saying about not giving in, not just the swearing, but generally, people wondered some of the disciplinary decisions you made throughout the course of the year, the way you handled minutes, the way you have stuck to who you are. Is it satisfying to think that people would say, well, you can't win like that at this kind of a place, meaning high character can't win at Memphis. Is it sort of personally satisfying?
You know what? Well, but here's the thing. I mean, the way that I personally believe, that doesn't guarantee success, but this is what I feel most comfortable with. I don't curse. I believe in that I don't want to motivate out of fear. I'm going to be very honest. I'm not a psychologist. I will not play mind games. And I believe there's no better motivating factor than the bench. And those are the facts. And everyone's gone through it. And if you're late, there's going to be a consequence. I'm a big believer in consequences, in discipline, and you've got to have consequences. And if there's consequences, we'll change the actions, because if the action's negative, there's got to be a consequence. And if the consequences don't alter the behavior, then you probably need to change the consequences and make them more severe. So consequences can go from anywhere from running to extra study hall to not starting to not playing to being dismissed, whatever it takes to make sure that I will not compromise on what I believe is what's best to win in overall, both on and off the floor. And because of a gentleman like R.C. Johnson, who hired me, who took a leap of faith when he didn't have to do that, and Dr. Raines, both R.C. Johnson and Dr. Raines, they want us to have great success on the court, but it's important for them that we also have character off the court too. Yeah, but you know what? We have, and that's the thing. I've heard the thing where people say, "Well, Memphis, you can't coach like that in Memphis." Hey, we have educated young men. I mean, last semester we had our highest GPA in over like 15 years. How about Joe Jackson? Had a 3.0 last semester. Tarik Black had like a 2.8. Will Barton had over a 3.0. So at Memphis, you can win. You can win at a high level with great character. And so anyone that says it differently is not true. That's a farce. That's an absolute farce. And so it's not as much about it's satisfying. It's just that's the way that is, as long as I'm the head coach, that's the way that I'm going to do things, and I'm not going to change on that. That's what I personally believe in, and I believe in that's the right way to do stuff. And these are young men that want to be treated the right way and with respect. Doesn't mean we're not going to get into it at times because of the adrenaline and the emotion of a game and the speed of the game, but overall in the game of life, these young men deserve to be treated with respect.
Got one back here in the back row.
Tarik, you guys look pretty excited as you finished the game. Came over to the UTEP student section a little bit. Explain how satisfying it was to win in an atmosphere like this.
It was very satisfying because during the first game and this game and the whole tournament, their fans were here doubting us at every game. They stayed for our games and doubted us, and they held up signs saying overrated class, and they put up the score from last game and said, do you remember this? So it's very satisfying to hold up the Memphis in front of their face and have them just drop their heads, because especially being a hometown kid, that makes it even more special.
And again, like I said, I mean, they've got a great fan base here, and this is a good basketball team, a very good basketball team. It's a very well-coached team by Coach Floyd. I mean, the guy's got like 600 wins or something like that, and he's coached in the NBA, and that's a good basketball team. So, again, I go back to this is a multiple bid league without question. Multiple bid league without question.
Coach, you may have answered this in part, but you've got the largest fan base in the league and the toughest fan base in the league. And I know they don't like to see you get crushed at Marshall and crushed at UTEP. How do you feel now along those lines, and what would you say to your fans who are a lot happier now?
Well, let me tell you this. When I took the job, I knew it was a monster. I mean, come on. I mean, I was an assistant with Coach Calipari. We had that 4-year run was the greatest run in the history of college basketball. And so, you know, the talk around the country when he left is nobody wanted the job because they said, oh, you can't follow Cal. You don't want to follow Cal. It's impossible. Well, hey, R.C. Johnson took a leap of faith. And I was like, let's go. And we're in survival mode. And one thing about our fan base, and I'm going to tell you this, unless you're there, it's like the Green Bay Packers. It's like the Philadelphia Eagles. It's like they love their team. They live it. They die it. They die by it. They are so emotionally invested. There's not a fan base like it in college basketball. I don't care if you can give me Kentucky, UCLA, Connecticut, North Carolina. It doesn't matter. The fans in Memphis are the best. So with that comes territories, as in terms you're going to get some heat. You're going to get criticism. You just can't have it when there's all praise and be happy on that. You've got to be able to take the heat and criticism, and that's part of it. And the fans, it's Tiger Nation's team. This is not my team. This is their team. This is our program. This is the fans' team. This is the city's team, because you know what? Memphis was good before I was born, and Memphis is going to be good when I leave this beautiful earth. I mean, those are the facts. This is about, I'm the gatekeeper right now sitting in the chair, and it's about these young men to my right and in the locker room. They're the one that makes it going. So I wouldn't trade our fan base for anything, including when we get heat or criticism.
Okay, anything else for the Tigers? Thank you very much.
Thank you.